'Cause I'd still pick you in the checkout line when the coupons fail and the card declines, when the kids are screaming and the car won't steer, and I'm one small inconvenience from a breakdown in here. Yeah, I'd still pick you. You're my steady north, my Jedi in my court.
Welcome to This is Life with Tim and Jenna. We're so excited that you guys are here with us today.
Yeah, we have a fun topic to talk about, actually. One that we've actually been kind of hashing out today together this morning.
It's going to be fun because you're going to probably learn a little bit from just even our struggle to get through the topic today. Yeah. But it's a really good topic. So
we're going to talk about, this lie that people believe. A myth, if you will. It's a lie that people believe that my spouse is supposed to make me happy.
Yeah, we disproved that this morning trying to record this podcast.
Yeah,
there were so many times I was not making her happy in this process.
Yes, we're not the same. We're not the same people. My expectations sometimes are way too high for Tim to be on the same page with me, and we're just not all the time. So yeah, the truth is, the lie is that it's my spouse's job to make me happy. The lie is that, or the truth is that your spouse, they can't meet all those needs. They can't meet your deepest needs of peace, identity, happiness, security, hope. There's so many things that we can't ask our spouse to meet.
Yeah, there's so many times where we expect our spouse to meet those things. And sometimes it's not even something that we even think about, right? We so desperately want somebody to meet those needs in our life. We want to feel secure. Nobody likes it when you lose your job, you lose your home, there's chaos. Nobody likes that. We want to feel secure. Even adrenaline junkies, at some point they want some security that parachute's going to open, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever that is, or hope or peace. How many times do we spend our life trying to find peace because it feels like our life is crazy and out of control?
Yeah. Literally, I think we've said this before, but the top reasons people come to counseling and sit with us in our office are communication, right? Depression, anxiety, and a few others, but those are the top three. And some common questions that we hear are, especially for my married couples, right, is why can't they understand me?
Yeah.
I'm not happy. I just feel insecure. I'm unhappy. I'm anxious. There's a lot of different things. The questions all revolve around those: communication, happiness, right? I want to be happy. I don't want to be anxious. I don't want to be sad. Don't they know that they should make me happy? Don't they know that that's their job?
Well, I think people come in looking for either you to fix their spouse or for you to fix them so that they can be a better spouse. It seems like that's kind of a common thing. Like, okay, how can I meet their needs? How can I provide everything they want? Mm-hmm. Or how can they provide everything that I need or everything that I want?
True. And I would also add that people come in looking for validation. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I'm not happy, so it's okay for me to leave, right? Because surely there's something else out there. And they're going to get pushback. From me, maybe not from all counselors, but they're definitely going to get pushback from me because happiness is so fleeting. It comes and it goes, and if the expectations are not where they need to be, you're not going to be happy anywhere.
Yeah. So the questions that people are asking when they come in looking for those things are, why can't my spouse just figure it out? Mm-hmm. Why can't they get it? Why can't they identify my needs? Why can't they meet my needs? What is the holdup there?
Yeah. Something I find myself saying a lot, which is really cool that we get to do this here. And I want you to hear this. Your spouse cannot play the role of superhero or savior or God in your life. And I think one of the mistakes that we make as people is we put those things, those expectations on pedestals, right? Or on these altars, right? And we put our spouse on that altar, and that it's a high place, right? Of expectation. They need to come in and they need to provide for every need. They need to sweep in emotionally and know exactly what I need emotionally. They need to know how to communicate their needs to me, well and clearly, and be able to understand whenever I'm trying to communicate clearly. There's this almost magical being that we put our spouse in, like a box that we put our spouse into on this pedestal that's really high. And if that pedestal falls, that spouse falls hard, right? The higher the pedestal, the further and the harder the fall, right? And I think it's important that we start removing the pedestal altogether and we bring our spouse back to where they belong, that they are people just like we are. I can't expect my husband to be the oxygen that I breathe. I can't expect him to be the one that breathes happiness and joy into my life. Now, is he wonderful and do I love my husband? Absolutely. But my life isn't falling apart when I'm not happy with him.
Yeah, the truth is the most well adapted, emotionally intelligent, secure, awesome spouse, the most amazing person on this planet cannot meet every need of their spouse. They're just not wired to do it. They are going to fall short at some point.
Yeah. You remember that movie that came out? I think I was in middle school. You must have been in college.
Watch it. I was not in college. We got to think about that.
I don't know.
It was like 6.5 years between us. So
Yeah,
she likes to joke all the time that she was.
Yeah,
like,
we met when I was in my 20s.
Yeah, I was driving when she was in diapers. I don't think that's accurate.
No, it's not true.
But that's the way she presents it to people.
Yeah, but there was a movie that came out when we were much younger.
Yeah, maybe you know it, maybe you don't.
Jerry Maguire.
Yep.
Yes, and one of the most famous quotes that come from that movie are, "You complete me."
Yeah.
Right, and it's used a lot, and I think that is such a failing moment for our culture is when we start putting that into our language, that my husband has to complete me, that he meets me in all the places that I'm falling short. And the truth is that's just impossible. He can't do that. Can he meet me on some things? Sure, but not on everything.
Yeah, and in our home, I take kind of the main leadership role, and that's just kind of the way it works for us.
Yeah.
But there's times where I question my leadership, right? I'm worried about, how is this going to turn out? What if we take this chance? Is it going to work out? And it's easy for me to go to Jenna and try to get that validation. But she can't give me that because she doesn't know any more than I do, how things are going to turn out. It's a chance.
Yeah.
We could take it and we could sink. We could take it and we could fly. But neither of us know that. But it's a tendency to go to our spouse to find that validation, to find that security of are we going to make it?
Yeah, and I think that's the most important is that we realize he knows that I can't meet him there, but he can still come to me for support and encouragement and to champion him. We may not know the outcome of the decision, but if in it together, we can fall back on it together. And it's not one or the other, like, you're the superhero. You should have known all of the answers. You should have known all of the outcomes and have made the best decision. And if it fails, then I'm out, right? No, we do it together. We champion each other, we support each other, and we encourage each other. We're not perfect, but we definitely try to make that our goal, right?
Yeah.
So something that I think we could do as couples, as you're listening to this even, write these questions down and pause, right? Are you asking yourself these questions? Are you hurt? Not just mildly annoyed, but are you crushed? Do you feel defeated when your spouse does not show up the way that you expected them to? Yeah. Question number 2, do you feel anxiety when there's disconnect in your relationship, when life gets busy and things are just, we've got kids and there's extracurricular activities and there's demands and jobs and things like that. Do you feel that anxiety, fear, insecurity when there's sometimes a disconnect, emotional, physical, mental, spiritual disconnect between you and your spouse?
Yeah, and that's a great question because oftentimes our mind fills in the blanks, right? Mm-hmm. And so if there are blanks happening in our life because maybe we haven't communicated or whatever, it's important to ask yourself, why? Why do I feel anxious? Why do I feel that way? Because if you don't get to the root of what is behind that, you're going to fill in those blanks. And usually your mind fills those in a negative way of like, why are we not connecting? Well, are they connecting with somebody else? And so it's important to do some assessment of where you're at, where your relationship is at, and ask these questions of each other.
Yeah. Last question.
Yeah.
Are you unsettled until your spouse reassures you? Is that what it takes for you to finally be on a level again, right? To be reassured by your spouse. Is that what you need in order to move forward?
Yeah. And I think it's good to point out that often our spouses can get stuck in, if we're going to them with these, going to them for them to meet those needs in our life, is then they will often do whatever it takes to try to fill that need. So for instance, if you're feeling unsettled, your spouse may start saying whatever you want to hear or whatever they think you need to hear so that you feel settled.
Yeah, that's so true. Happiness is, like I said, so fleeting and it falls. It's fake. It can be a gilded cage. If you're sweeping things underneath the rug because you're trying to avoid conflict or confrontation, or you're trying to make the peace, right? Then you have to realize that happiness comes with a cost. Those things are going to come up eventually. So we need to be able to get to a place in our marriages where we can bring things up that don't feel comfortable, warm and fuzzy, right? It may not equate to happiness necessarily, but they get us a lot further in our relationships. I think this is a statement that we need to let sink in, right? I need you to meet my needs equals I need you to be my God. Let that sink in.
Yeah. If you're saying that or thinking that about your spouse, that they need to meet your needs, they need to make you feel good, they need to make you happy, then really what you're saying is you need them to be God in your life. You need them to be the top authority, top one to go to for answers. You're looking for your spouse to really be God in that situation.
Yeah, it's so unfair. I can't expect my husband to be the genie of happiness,
Yeah.
right? And so putting him in his rightful place, putting my husband in his rightful place in my life as my partner is really incredibly important. Go ahead.
And the reality is, if you're struggling through this, your marriage isn't broken, right? Maybe just your expectations are off.
Right.
And if you can reposition those expectations, if you can adjust your expectations to be more realistic of your spouse, leaps and bounds forward.
100%.
So in those moments, like you brought up earlier, if you are feeling unsettled and you're going to your spouse, go to them for encouragement, not to solve the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I think some of our old patterns or patterns that you might be in right now is to go to your spouse. I need you to do this. I need this to happen. I need you to fix this problem, and I need it fixed immediately.
Yeah.
That is really normal and common. I need you to fix this now so that we can move on. Some problems take a little longer to fix, number one.
Or on the other side, and this happens a lot for guys, is like they just jump into the fix it mode. Okay, you brought me a problem. I'm going to fix it. And the reality is they may not be able to fix it, but there's this all of a sudden this pressure on them to do it. And then they can start feeling like a failure because they're unable to meet those needs.
Yeah. And as you know, many of you, if you've been listening to us at all, you know that we are believers. We know that we go to the Lord, to God on everything. And so if you haven't established this pattern yet, push the pause button on going to your spouse for your needs to be met. Do they need to know that you have needs? Absolutely. But it's not their job to make you happy. And so if you're willing to push the pause button on that and start with spending some time with God, journaling, getting in your word, talking to some trusted friends who also can go to the Lord on your behalf and pray with you and encourage you. If you can start there, often by the time you get to your spouse, the questions are, or the ask is, can you encourage me? Yeah. Can you be with me on this? Can you stand with me on this? And it becomes more of an invitation over a demand. And it's freeing and liberating in many, many ways.
And I want to pause here and really emphasize this point. If you're putting pause on this and you're not going to God, you're going to go to somebody else, and you're going to get yourself into trouble. You're going to get your marriage into trouble.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have a relationship with the Lord, listen, I tell every couple that comes and sits in my chair, I don't know how you navigate marriage without a relationship with the Lord, because you need somebody outside of yourself who can speak to you about you in your marriage and can speak to you about your spouse in your marriage. So you can't just put pause on these things and then go to somebody outside of your marriage, because that opens the door for things like affairs, for that mindset of, oh, I just need a different person in this situation. But here's the reality. Those basic needs, those deep needs that every person needs of peace, identity, security, and hope, they don't change. and no person can fill those. So even if you bring a different person into the role, they're still not going to meet those needs. The only one that can is God.
Absolutely. And I would also add that substance can't fill those needs either. If you're turning to alcohol or substance abuse to relieve yourself of sadness or anxiety.
Or to escape.
Yeah. You're still not getting those needs met in ways that actually matter. Yeah. So we do encourage you, if you haven't established that relationship with the Lord, that it is available to you and something that can set your marriage free.
And if you're in here and this might be a new idea for you, we'd love to have conversations with you about it. So feel free to jump in the comments, let us know. We can talk about it more in the future. But also, as anything that we discuss on here, if you guys have questions or want to know more, let us know. Get in the comments, direct message us if you can. You can do that through social media and a lot of the other ways to follow us. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Find us there under This Is Life _414. Come follow us. But don't navigate through this stuff alone. Get the help that you need. I know that we were talking about earlier. We don't ever want you to feel like you have to navigate this alone. There's always help.
Yeah, get counseling.
Yeah.
If you need your spouse to help you be happy, get some help. Go find someone that can help you navigate and mediate towards some real answers. And I think you'll find very pleased that you did so.
Yeah. Your needs can be met, but they can only be met by God, nobody else. So, well, guys, that kind of wraps up our topic for today. We thank you so much for joining us. How can they engage with us otherwise?
Yeah. Drop a comment, subscribe, follow us. We are constantly trying to feed and encourage and support our listeners, and we're excited to engage with you.
Yeah, we want to respond to the things that you guys need. So let us know. Otherwise, we will see you next week.
'Cause I'd still pick you in the checkout line when the coupons fail and the card declines, when the kids are screaming and the car won't steer, and I'm one small inconvenience from a breakdown in here. Yeah, I'd still pick you. You're my steady north, my Jedi.